Hello everyone, how are you today? I hope you are fine and as healthy as always, yeah? Welcome back to the Native Mobile Programming course for the 12th week. Yeah, today we will learn about implicit intent. Yeah? Previously, we have used intent so many times, yeah, for example, like calling other activities, yeah. But actually, there are more to the usage of intent. Yeah? Today we will learn about what we call implicit intent. Yeah, so an intent is a messaging object that we can use to request an action from another application. Yeah? Usually, until today, we only use intent to call another activity from our own application. Yeah, but actually, there are many more usages of intent. For example, we can also open a URL in a web browser. Then we can also access a camera to take a picture. Then the result is returned to the caller app, and we can also use intent to open Google Calendar maybe and schedule a new event. There are many usage of intent. Yeah, we only use one of them. Yeah, that is running another activity. So we have actually two types of intent. Yeah, the first type is explicit intent. We actually use this a lot. Yeah, from our previous tutorials. Yeah. What we call an explicit intent is actually an intent which we know what activity or application to open. Yeah, usually we use explicit intent to run a different activity within an application. Yeah, so I hope you remember SpongeBob quiz or maybe the playlist application. Yeah, from last week's tutorial and so on. Yeah, we used explicit intent to open a specific activity. Now, the second type is what we call an implicit intent. Yeah, in this case, we let the operating system, the Android, determine the correct application to run as long as it matches with the information in the intent. We don't really mention a specific application to run. We just let the OS decide itself. Yeah, we only specify the common action. So for example here, yeah, we have a URL, then we wrap it to an implicit intent, then send it to the OS. Then the OS responds and displays a list of applications that can open that particular URL. Maybe in this case, it's a web browser or maybe YouTube if the URL is actually a YouTube video and so on. Yeah, this is what we call implicit intent. And today we will learn about implicit intent and how to utilize implicit intent in our application. Yeah, this is an example of how implicit intent works. Yeah, this is actually a figure from the Android developer website. Yeah, so I took it over here. Yeah, this illustrates how implicit intent works. Yeah, so let's say we have an activity A. It creates an intent with an action description, then it passes to a start activity. Remember, a start activity needs an intent object. And then the second step is actually this intent is passed to the Android system. And the Android system searches all apps for an intent filter that matches the received intent. Yeah, after it finds a match, then the system starts a matching activity, in this case, activity B, yeah, by invoking its on create and passing the intent. Yeah, so this is you can say as a life cycle of an intent. Yeah. In this particular example, it is actually an implicit intent because it involves the Android system to actually determine what application or what specific activity can be used to open and process this implicit intent. Yeah, usually you will get message box like this. Yeah, complete action using some applications. Yeah, this is maybe Android 4, I think. Yeah, and from Android 5 and more, you will get maybe like this dialog box. Yeah, and for a newer Android, I think you will get the dialog box at the bottom of the screen. Yeah, it really depends on your Android version. So this is an example of using explicit intent as we usually do. Yeah, we have file I, we use intent constructor passing this. Yeah, assume that this code resides in an activity. Yeah, then we call the activity. Then we call the target activity name. In this example, main quiz double colon class.java, and optionally we can put some extras. Here I put a question number extra, and the value is ID. Then I also put an extra. The key is difficulty, and the value is string insane. Then we start activity by using this I variable. Yeah. So this main quiz double colon .java is actually a component name. Yeah, this is actually optional. If we specify it, then this intent becomes an explicit intent. Yeah, because we know exactly what activity to open. But if it is not specified, then it becomes implicit, and we let the OS determine which apps can open this intent. Yeah, and then yeah, I guess you remember how extra works. Yeah, extra is a pair of key and value embedded within an intent. And after this intent is sent to a target activity, then this key and value pairs can be read later. Yeah, using the very same key. Yeah, that's why usually we use the help of companion objects to store these keys. Now, this is an example of an implicit intent. Yeah, don't worry if you don't type anything right now. Yeah, we will actually try this code later. Yeah, for now, I only give you the illustration of how to code implicit intent. Yeah, but later we will try to code it by ourselves. Yeah. So here I have a send intent. Yeah, and as you can see here, I only use an intent constructor with no parameters at all. Yeah, I don't pass this, and I also don't pass the name of the target activity. Yeah, but instead I specify an action here. The action is action send. Yeah, we will talk about this later. And optionally, also we can put some extras. Yeah, but now the constants is intent.extra text. Yeah, later we will also take a look at some default extra constants that we can use. Yeah, then this is the value. For now, it's sentence in Bahasa. Yeah, this is a text, and we can also specify the type of the data, which is text plain. And later, yeah, this is actually the recommended code. Yeah, we must verify first that the intent will be able to be resolved to an activity. Yeah, so we invoke a resolve activity function from the send intent by passing its package manager. If it is not null, then we can safely start our activity by specifying the intent. Yeah, so one feature of the implicit intent that we don't actually mention what activity to open. Yeah, the Android will determine by itself. And we have some intent actions over here and some extras optionally. Yeah, there are string of constants to specify the generic action to execute. So let's take a look at the intent action. Yeah. Here I give you only two generic actions. The first one is action send to send or share data to other applications like email or WhatsApp maybe or any text messaging. Yeah, the second one is an action view. It can be used to display some information. Yeah, as its name suggests, we view some information. Maybe we search for photos to open on the image gallery or address to search on Google Maps. We select a contact from our contact app to pick or view the maybe the mobile number and so on. Yeah, there are actually many other generic actions you can see over here. Yeah, I will open the website for you. It's on the developer Android. Yeah, so these are the current standard actions that intent defines for launching activities. Yeah, usually through the start activity method from the context. Yeah, you have a quad selection over here. Yeah, you can take a look at this website, yeah, later. Now, in the meantime, we also need an extra here sometimes, especially to be able to send data to another application. Yeah. So every apps can receive info from the other apps through intent. Now they must agree on the same constant. Yeah. So previously, if we used explicit intent, passing a data from activity A to activity B, then activity A and B must agree on a specific constant, yeah, on the same constant. Yeah, that's why we create a companion object on the activity A, yeah, to store all the extra constants. Then we refer to it on activity B by using activity A dot extra underscore something. Yeah, we are able to do this because, yeah, actually we code these two activities in our same application. Yeah, in the same application there is our application. Yeah, but now if we want to send some data to another activity, or sorry, not another activity, to another application, how can we agree on the same extra constants then? Yeah, to alleviate this problem, then Android specifies some extra constants. For example, here, extra text constant can be read by messaging applications, yeah, or any application that can handle text values. Yeah, you can also take a look at more extras over here, again on the Android developer website. Yeah, there are quite a number of extra constants that we can use. Yeah, for example, like extra alarm count, extra email, then maybe extra phone number, and so on. Yeah, now we must use these extra constants so that another application can communicate with our application. Yeah, if we actually define our own constants that the other application may not know our defined constants, and maybe the other application can understand it, but in with a different meaning. Yeah, so it's not as reliable as using extra data over here. Oops, sorry, over here. So if we are using implicit intent, then usually we will use this extra constants. Okay, go back. Let's go back to the implicit intent example. Yeah, this is what we call URI data. Yeah, and if the action is actually action send, then we need to specify the data type to send to another application. Yeah, and this code is for a null safety. Yeah, this code safeguards the intent resolved, whether the OS can find the correct application to be able to handle this intent. Yeah, if we don't check it, then if there is no application that can handle this intent, then our application will simply force close. Yeah, this code is to prevent that. Yeah, so it's a good idea to verify that the intent will be able to be resolved. Okay, you can also open this website again on the developer Android. Yeah, there are some common intents that you can use. Yeah, I'm sorry that my developer Android is in Bahasa. Okay, let's take a look at the slide instead. Yeah, so this website explain commonly used intents such as accessing the camera, sending text messages, creating notes, and so on. Yeah, or let me change it to English for this time. Yeah, so regarding to the alarm clock, you can create an alarm. Yeah, it explains the action to be set over here. Yeah, you can specify the action over here, And then for the data URI, if there is none, then you don't need to specify the type. Yeah, and optionally, you can pass some extras, extra hour, extra minutes, extra message, extra days, and so on. Yeah, later, please play around with this command intents by yourself. Yeah. So this is an example to create a node. Yeah, you must use the action create node action. The data URI scheme is none. The MIME type can be plain text type or /star over here. Some extras to use, and you are also given some example to create the implicit intent. Yeah, for example here, fun create node, blah blah blah, and so on. Yeah, for every intent, you are given the example, so you can maybe simply just copy and paste this code to your own application, then maybe modify it as you wish and try it by yourself. Okay, I think that's all about the implicit intent introduction. Yeah, after this we will delve right into the codes. So I will split this tutorial into 3 parts or 3 videos. Yeah, the first video will talk about how to create an implicit intent to send data. In the second video, we will learn how to receive data from implicit intent and maybe process it further. And the third video, we will try using explicit intent but returning some results. Yeah, so after this, let's go to the first tutorial. Let's continue on the next video.